TomoNews presents Chocolates and Sweets.
Toblerone's new chocolate bars are making everyone very unhappy. Fans of Toblerone are voicing their displeasure across social media after the company released a new design for the airport duty-free staple. A statement posted to Toblerone's Facebook page explains that rising costs in production of the famous treat is what led to the redesign of their 400-gram and 170-gram chocolate bars. However, the company assures the public that other bars will remain unchanged. The new design widens the gaps between the iconic triangle pieces of the treat, while the length of the entire chocolate bar remains the same. This means chocolate bars that were formerly 400 grams now weigh only 360 grams at the same length. In other words, consumers are getting roughly 10% less chocolate for the same price. The new design allowed the company to reduce the amount of chocolate but retain the original size and shape of the bar's packaging. However, the company has assured everyone that the shape change will not affect the taste or quality of their chocolate bars. Even so, some fans are not so forgiving, even going so far as to blame the new design on Brexit.
Chocolate is about to say goodbye to the world. If you're a fan of chocolate, you better start hoarding it now because it may be joining the dinosaurs in just a few decades. Scientists say chocolate is in danger of disappearing by 2050 due to warmer and drier conditions from global warming. Cacao can only be grown within a narrow strip of rainforested land about 20 degrees north and south of the equator, where the temperature, rain, and humidity are relatively constant year-round. Over half of the world's chocolate comes from two African countries, Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. However, rising temperatures over the next decades will make those regions unsuitable for cacao. Researchers from the University of California are now working with the Mars company to save the cacao plant from disappearing. Berkeley scientists hope to modify cacao DNA using CRISPR technology to develop plants that won't wilt or rot at their current elevations under warmer conditions. No, but really, life without chocolate?
Did someone say brownies? Yogi and Boo Boo may take the cake for most resourceful, but this Connecticut black bear clearly wins for persistence. The big fella had been lured by the smell of freshly baked brownies and followed it all the way to the source. It pressed up against the back door and then tried to get in through the other doors. The terrified homeowner asked her neighbors for help, but no amount of screaming, pounding, or yelling could get the pesky bear to go away. Even though the experience is very probably harrowing in person, photos of the chocolate-hungry bear are adorable, and the internet approves. The bear eventually did give up on its brownie quest and left, to the homeowner's great relief. We're guessing she won't be baking anytime soon. Hold on to your sweet tooth. McDonald's seems to be on a mission to kill us with calories, one decadent food item at a time. After unleashing chocolate-covered fries on Japan, it's now targeting unsuspecting Italians with something they won't be able to resist. 2 days after humanity effed itself up, Mickey D's decided to console the world by making a dessert burger filled with everyone's favorite hazelnut spread. No meat, no cheese, no pickles, just carbs and choco-hazelnutty goodness. But you'll have to fly to Italy if you want Nutella between your buns. And you'll probably need to have more than one, because the sweetie con Nutella is definitely not American-sized. Might be a good idea just to make your own dessert witch, or better yet, just eat it straight out of the jar like a proper Nutella monster. Although if the Nutella burger ever comes to our shores, definitely not complaining. Caramel is coming. Thank ye candy gods for answering all our prayers, as M&M's comes out with a new flavor next year that proves there is still goodness in this world. Chocolatey goodness. It took 75 years, but the M&M's crew has finally decided to fill their candies with something soft and gooey for a change. Soon we can all indulge in luscious caramel, covered in milk chocolate and encased in a crunchy, colorful shell. None of that pumpkin spice bullcrap. The new flavor is going to be a permanent item, and the company's gateway to the booming $2.2 billion caramel business. M&M's is so serious about it that they spent 2 years figuring out how to do caramel right, and even built a new plant in Kansas to produce the tasty morsels. The caramel candies are set to fly off shelves and make America fat again by May 2017. Until then, we'll just be here drooling.
Squirrel gets in the holiday mood by feasting on pricey chocolates. An American squirrel was caught on camera nabbing expensive chocolates and some lip balm from a Jersey family's porch. Every year, the Boudreaux family leaves out a holiday basket for delivery people on their doorstep. They stuff it with candy, snacks, tissues, hand warmers, and other treats. Michelle Boudreaux said they never had any issues until this year when she noticed the basket was raided shortly after she placed it outside. She said the thief was only taking the expensive treats, including 25 Ghirardelli chocolate squares. The family put up a hidden camera to see if they could catch the perpetrator in action. They were more than a little surprised to see it was actually a super chunky squirrel. Michelle then later actually ran into Chunk mid-heist and watched him clear out their chocolate yet again. Oh yeah, he also took a Carmex lip balm. The chocolate has now been placed in a jar, but Michelle still leaves out squirrel treats for Chunk too.
Well, hell no. Fan favorite Maltesers might be getting an unappetizing makeover because nothing is sacred anymore. Mars apparently wants to fight falling sales by turning the malted chocolate balls into flat oval-shaped buttons. How that's gonna solve things is anyone's guess. The depressing news got leaked by someone who auditioned for a new online ad. While acting out a scene, he and some other actors were told that the Maltesers they'd be holding would be flat. None of them thought flat Maltesers were a good idea, probably because it isn't. You'll bet fans will riot if the change ever goes through. So unless you're gonna be getting a lot more balls, Mars better leave Maltesers alone.
Dark chocolate is the new superfood. Maybe. Put the quinoa and avocado down. There's a new super duper food in town. Dark chocolate. Okay, maybe not, but it's still chocolate. According to 3 studies, dark chocolate may be giving your brain, immune system, and vision some small benefits. To study dark chocolate's effect on the brain, subjects were given 1.5 ounces, then had their brain waves analyzed on an EEG machine. Participants had an increase in gamma waves 30 minutes after eating the chocolate. Gamma waves are associated with high levels of cognitive processing. In another study, scientists looked at the effect of dark chocolate on the immune system. Subjects were again given a dark chocolate bar for the first week and had the blood analyzed the following week. Participants had an increase in anti-inflammatory markers and infection-fighting T cells. The third study looked at a link between dark chocolate and vision. In 2 separate tests, 30 subjects were given 2 chocolate bars, both dark and milk chocolate, and conducted vision tests roughly 2 hours later. Scientists found that after eating dark chocolate, participants had small vision improvements. What can we take away from these results? Not much, really. The first 2 studies only had 10 people participating, and the third study only had 30. You could also drown your sorrows in some dark chocolate.
To promote better oral health, researchers in Berlin have created a new candy containing a bacteria they say is able to reduce cavities. Researchers have added a bacteria called Lactobacillus paracasi to the new beneficial candy. According to researchers, after eating, bad bacteria deposited on the surface of the teeth release acids able to dissolve tooth enamel, which eventually lead to cavities. Chewing the candy releases friendly bacteria into the saliva. The bacteria then locks onto the corrosive bacteria, forming a clump, which reduces the harmful bacteria's ability to stick to the surface of teeth and cause cavities. The new candies could be available within the next year or 2. Scientists are also working on developing toothpastes and mouthwashes containing the friendly bacteria.
Google's dark little secrets, M&Ms and Kit Kats. It appears that Google has been having size issues, not with profits, but with expanding waistlines from M&Ms and other goodies offered throughout Google offices. Google launched Operation M&M, a special ops group of PhDs that conduct studies on snacking patterns and proximity of employees to M&M bins. By keeping M&Ms in opaque containers and leaving healthful options in glass jars, the New York office was able to cut 3.1 million calories in M&M consumption over 7 weeks. However, the chocolate addiction problem is clearly spreading at Google, as the newest version of Android will be called KitKat. What's really going on at Google? KitKats or M&Ms, which do you prefer?